Zombie apocalypse.
Hello, welcome to Code with Chittu. This is my 4th or 5th, I don't know, video. This time I'm going to make it for paper 1, and most of the students feels very difficult to understand this chapter. So first I want to start with the difficult one. So as for this O level for grade 10, this computer architecture is very new to them. To understand this, we need more explanation. So I made some animated slide for you. Let we go into the class today. So this computer architecture means already you learned all the input device and output devices, storage devices, how it is storing those things. This model was created by O. Newman, who is a very famous mathematician. He just made this to make it clear. He made this after that only. This model is very easy to understand how we have to make each instruction by instruction the computer is carried out. So in this video you are going to see see and learn how this von Neumann architecture model, what are the things present in that, and how this fetch execute cycle is done. So let's go into our class. So first, why this von Neumann architecture we need? This is just a basic diagram. What you are seeing, this is a basic diagram. Input device we are giving to the CPU and it is processing. While processing inside the CPU, what are the two things mainly it is using? It uses its main memory and also secondary storage, that is hard disk, and these two it is using. After that processed, by using these two it is processing. After process it is sent to the output device, whether it is a printer or monitor, anything. This is a basic. Whenever they are starting the class for the computing, they first do this process. Actually now we are going to learn, in this class we are going to learn inside the CPU how it is using this RAM and secondary storage devices, and how it is processing each instructions, how the program instructions and data are stored and processed. And the CPU is responsible for all processing and calculation within the computer. So brain of the computer is CPU. So let's take step by step how it actually is carried out. So first we must know what are the internal components. Already we know some of the components, that storage devices, those, but internally what are the main things it has for these instructions to carry out. So first is, these are the components. In exam also sometimes they will ask write some of the components used in von Neumann architecture, or what are the components present in the CPU. So one by one, this control unit, first I make this control unit, means it's like a brain, right? It has to control, it will control the whole process. So first I will introduce the components, then we can go for the explanations. Control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, general purpose registers, immediate access store, memory unit, buses, and you can see how little elaborate image you can able to see now. So here this primary memory means that is nothing but primary means this RAM, we call it as primary memory or main memory also you will tell, and it has 3 buses. An external component means anything we are giving out of that CPU, what it is doing inside the CPU, how it is transferring from memory to other places, and registers, control unit, arithmetic, logic, cache, everything present in the CPU. So this is a simple diagram. Let me go into the deep. What is mean by, first I took this immediate access store. So the name is new to you, so I want to introduce this. Some of times in most of the IGC exam they are asking what is meant by immediate access store, what is the purpose of immediate access store. You know about that, but this name is new to you. Say immediate access store is nothing but our main memory, that is RAM. Okay, is commonly referred as RAM. We already use RAM like that, and main memory, but immediate access store, by the name you can understand why it is called immediate access store, because immediately whatever it is going to run, it will be stored. Immediately it is stored in the RAM, then from RAM everything will be running. So in that RAM, cache memory is there. So can you remember when you are learning about the RAM in primary store memory, they will tell In RAM is a part of cache memory is a part of RAM. What is the use of the cache memory? So the cache is a small amount of high speed random access memory. Sometimes it is a part of RAM, sometimes they are keeping it separately, but built directly with the processor. It will be within the processor. Why they have to make it high speed? Already RAM is speed, but it is compared to RAM, it is more speed, and it used to temporarily hold data and instruction that the processor likes to reuse. I will tell you one story to you so that you can easily understand. Allows for faster processing, as a processor does not have to wait for data and instruction to be fetched from the RAM. So why this cache is there? Before going to that, we must know actually the data is permanently stored in the second storage device, that is hard disk. Suppose your OS is stored in the hard disk, all the applications stored in the OS, right? In that secondary storage device. So while running, the OS first loaded into this main memory, that is RAM, and from there instruction by instruction the processor will run. So when you are learning about what is the difference between the secondary storage and main memory, means the processor directly access to the main memory while running the program, but if they want to run anything from the hard disk cannot able to from hard disk and processor there is no direct connection. If anything it want to run from the hard disk, it will load it into the RAM, then from the RAM one by one it will run. So only if your computer is slow, they usually tell to update your RAM, because that is internal memory. In your phone also, internal memory, extended memory they will tell. In internal memory, extended memory, if it is high storage, then your device will be fast because it can able to store more data. So instructions, each instruction will be loaded, it will be very fast. Then here why already RAM is there, then why is the cache memory? Sometimes some instruction over and over again repeatedly asked by the processor. Those instruction maybe it is a fifth or fourth one by one in the queue in the RAM, but if it is often it is called by the processor, means the RAM very nicely it will keep those instruction in the cache memory, so that very fast it will give. Take for example, if anything I want to take often, means I will keep it with me, right, near to me, so no need to go to very far and I am taking. So this is the main reason why cache memory is used. So this RAM use the cache memory so that the processing speed will be very high. As already we discussed about components of von Neumann architecture, you can able to see here this memory unit, control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and each unit has its own registers. To refer the register, I just refer all the green colors, the dark green colors is refers the different types of registers, and we are going to discuss about each unit and its working and what is the purpose, those things. And you can able to see three buses. This purple color is purple color I noted as a data bus, and another bus is address bus, and dotted lines in control bus. And you can see here RAM also I can make it as to address and contents. Already we have to store each instruction in the RAM. I already told, right, from that hard disk any program, suppose I want to load OS, that program it has to load it in this contents, and each instruction will be loaded in each address. Actually the RAM is looking like a grid, and each grid has its own address, and in that data will be stored, so that when it is taken it must to know from which the address each instruction is fetched. Okay, now this is just a model I will show. Again when I am going for this fetch execute cycle, we can easily discuss about this in well detailed manner. Now first as for the components, control unit. So how for us a human, the brain is very important, and brain controls the whole body. Here in this processing, in this computer, control unit carries as a brain which controls the whole thing. So another definition they will tell, it acts as a manager to controls the whole process as well as input and output device. So here the controller controls and coordinates operation of a computer by controlling which instructions are executed and when. So everything, when we have to fetch, when we have to execute, from where we have to fetch, and how we have to execute. Everything is decided by the control unit, and this control unit contains two instructions, two registers, that is current instruction register and program counter. So these two are also registers. And in current instruction register, as per in that name itself we can understand currently which instruction it is going to process. That instruction will be present in the CIR. And program counter means this will count first, it will count one by one, so it will store the address of the next instruction to be fetched. And the CU will fetch an instruction from main memory, that is sorry, in address we already showed, right, this address and contents in RAM. Those from that main memory, CPU fetches instruction and passes to all parts of the CPU, and it will process by instruction. Next one is arithmetic and logic unit. As you know by the name, arithmetic means all the mathematical calculation, and logic unit already you learned that logic gates, those things, the logical operations. So these all the calculations, suppose anything calculation has to done in the CPU, it will everything these data will go to this unit, and this unit only any addition or subtraction, whatever the mathematical calculations will be done in this arithmetic and logic unit. Arithmetic we know addition, subtraction, division, and those square, everything together. And logical comparisons, logical operations means and, or, not, NAND, those things also will done in this unit only. So totally every electronic calculations will be done in this part, in this unit only. And this general purpose register. So general purpose register means here I have to explain you, before when the older days they won't use the word general purpose register, directly we will tell accumulator. This accumulator is present inside the ALU unit, and default result mostly stored in this accumulator. But nowadays they are telling general purpose registers like that, so it depends upon the processor what you are doing. So here normally general purpose registers means it used to hold the data when performing the calculation. Suppose I told to add two numbers, while performing this this calculation done in the ALU unit, that time it has to store the result or anything, means it will use accumulator register, the special register, A register we will call that. In that it will store, default result will be stored. After that next instruction from the accumulator it will store into the RAM, that is the next process. But during the calculation, as this accumulator present the AL unit, the default result will be stored in this accumulator. And nowadays this AX we call it as accumulator, but nowadays BX, CX, DX register depend upon the processor. Some other set of registers are also they are using now. Totally, if general purpose register means you can tell it's accumulator. For your standard, that's enough. And it will store this calculation, that result, right? Once it is calculated, temporarily stored in this register. And next one is memory unit. So already we consider 3 units we saw, right? Totally there is 3 units. One is control unit, memory unit, and arithmetic logic unit. So already we discussed about control unit and arithmetic logic unit. Now this memory unit, how whatever we are seeing, whatever we are doing, our brain stores in our memory. Like that in the computer, in the CPU, it also has separate memory. So RAM also a primary memory, but while processing, what are the memories it will temporarily, how it is storing, how it remember each data. So this memory unit is a collection of storage cells together, which associates circuits needed to transfer information in and out the storage. So it has that connection, it will temporarily store and then it will pass here, then again calculation part it will do. So those things where calculation it has to remember, those things will be done in the memory unit. So this memory data register and memory address register, 2 registers are there in memory unit. One is MDR or MBR, anything we can tell, memory buffer register, data register, and memory address register. These 2 things will be present in the memory unit. So totally we saw already the components separate each unit by unit, but now in each unit it has two registers, right? Memory unit means 2 registers, control unit 2 register, and in ALU unit 1 register is there. So totally what are the registers is that, just a summary we can see that one. First one is program counter. So this program counter is present in the control unit. it used to store the address of the memory, address in the memory of next instruction to be executed, or you can tell also address of the next instruction to be fetched. That also correct. So it holds the address starting. It will start from the program counter only. So it always store the address of the instruction to be executed or fetched. And memory address register MAR and MBR both is present in the memory unit. So this purpose is temporarily holds the address of the register. So from program counter it sends to the MAR, it holds that address, and then it will search for the contents of that address, and then it will store in the MBR. So the purpose of MBR is to hold the location of the, location means address, right? Location of data that needs to be accessed, that is fetched. This is the address in the physical location of data that is present in the RAM, right? That is being stored in the computer's memory. So from the main memory, it has the address. In that address only some data are there which we are going to execute it. And memory data register. So here I want to tell you, memory data is MDR, MBR, both are same. You can refer anything whatever you like, but you must know these two are same. Memory buffer register. Why they are telling memory data register means we are storing the instructions and data in that one. Only instruction data will be stored. And why it is called memory buffer register? As usual, you know, buffer is a temporary storage area, so they are usually commonly called as memory buffer register. So here in MAR we are storing the address. The contents present in that address will be stored in the MBR. So when CPU looks into the memory address stored in the MAR, it will find the data or instruction is then temporarily stored to MDR from the RAM before it is stored into the CIR. So from program counter it will go to the MAR, from MAR it will search for that instruction, and that instruction will be stored in the MDR, from MDR it will go to the CIR. So CIR present in the control unit. So remember, program counter and CIR both present in the control unit. So this current instruction register holds instruction that is to be executed. Here we should not tell fetch, because after fetch the instruction is stored in the CIR, and from CIR it has to execute. Before execute it has to decode also. So from CIR first decode and it will execute. And last one, very important, is accumulator, or you can tell general purpose register, contains the result while the calculation is done. Temporarily it performs some calculation, means that calculated data default is stored in this accumulator. So these are the registers present in our ONE architecture. Okay, so program counter and CIR present in the control unit, memory address register, memory data register is present in the memory unit, and accumulator is present in the air unit. So the three units and its registers we discussed. Now three buses. So bus means you can easily relate to the common bus. In common bus, someone carrying us to, driver carry us to one place to another place. Like the same thing, inside the CPU, inside the processor, the data, I am telling you, the address is transferring from one place to another place, from main memory to processor, from processor to register, and data also transferring, controls also transferring. These things will be done through the bus. The bus is a hardware path where the hardware path or as a set of parallel lines. It will be a parallelness because inside the processor it is a parallel connection, not a serial connection. Set of parallel wires or parallel transformation that connect two or more components within the within the computer system, within the processor. Inside that motherboard we can tell, right? So the bus is a set of parallel wires, or you can tell it's a hardware path where instruction and data are transferred from one place to another place within the computer. That also fine. And there are three different buses are there. One is address bus. As per the name, you can easily understand this carries only the address. So it has a separate way for address and data. So address bus only carries the address, means address whatever from main memory to the register to one register, another register, for one unit to another unit also. Everything transferred through this address bus. This mostly it is unidirectional. And A level they are telling is a bidirectional, but for O level it is called as unidirectional only. So you can just remember address bus is unidirectional, which means that it can travel in one way. not in two way. Okay, unidirectional means in one way. Control bus is mostly it is unidirectional only, because from the control unit only controls is transferred. But sometimes it is bidirectional, means the registers may respond, the unit may respond that I need the control, like that you can get the help. So sometimes it will call it as bidirectional also. Here it is not carrying any values like instruction or data, just it carries a signal, that control signal. You do that, how our brain is sending the signals. You fetch, you are seeing this one, take your hand, if you are take your like that it will send signals to the peripheral nerves, right? Like that, this control bus also sends the control signals to all part of the processor, so, to just fetch or execute. And data bus, like address bus, in this bus only data for instructions will be transferred from one place to another place. This is always in bidirection, because from one place to another place always the data and instruction has to carry on. It is always in bidirection. So there are three bus: address bus, control bus, and data bus. And now we already learned about fetch, execute, already learned about von-Neumann architecture inside the hardware, how it is, what are the units we are going to use. Now what is maybe fetch, execute cycle? This step by step we can see. This video will be very long, because from starting onwards, first I introduce the components, those things, so don't get bored. Little you can able to understand, because it's very important, and if you are going to A level also, this understanding is very important. And here what are the units we saw? The full processor, right? Control unit, arithmetic logic unit, and memory unit, everything we saw, right? And RAM is there, so you can remember that diagram also. Here, from here you can see, right, the fetch from RAM. So from hard disk, from hard disk, first it is the program is loaded into the RAM. That is the first thing, right? Program is loaded into the RAM. From RAM, one by one, each instruction, first instruction is fetched from the RAM, and it is decoded in the control unit. After decoding, it is executed. While executing, of course, it has to store or add, or any calculations will be done in the arithmetic logic unit. Temporarily it is stored in the accumulator after execution, and permanently it is stored again into the RAM. Okay, this is the fetch cycle. Very simple diagram it is. In your book also you can able to see this. And step by step I will tell, then we can go for the animated version. The program counter contains, first these fetch execute cycles start from the program counter. First the PC holds the address, memory location, right? Address of the next instruction to be fetched from the main memory. So in the main memory, that is in RAM, some of the instruction is there. First instruction, that is next instruction they are telling, its address, first instruction where it is present, that address will be loaded to the program counter, and from the program counter the address is again transferred to the copy to the MAR, which is present in the memory unit, and from MAR it goes to the CPU look into the computer memory. So then it will transfer to the RAM and look for its equivalent instruction, and that instruction or data is transferred through the data bus, and it is stored into the MDR, and from MDR it transferred to the CIR, where the CIR present in the control unit. After fetched, the PC is incremented by 1, means one instruction is fetched, it is incremented to 1, means it points to the next instruction to be fetched. So it is ready for the next instruction. But what we fetched from the MDR, which is present in CR, it has to first execute. So the instruction now CR is decoded and executed. Once it's executed, again this already PC, it is incremented, right? Second instruction also will go through this step by step process. Let's see with animation step by step, so that you can easily understand. So this is our fetch execute cycle. Okay, so you can see here processor, memory unit, two registers in the memory unit is MAR and MBR. Again I am telling, in MAR only address will be stored, MBR only data or instruction will be stored. And in this control unit, two registers PC and CIR, program counter and current instruction register. In PC, the address of the instruction will be stored. The next instruction it will be stored. So it start from PC only, it is starting, and CAR holds the instruction to be decoded and executed. And I just added decoder here so that it is easy for you to understand what is in the decoding. And another unit is arithmetic and logic unit. In that arithmetic logic unit, accumulator, that is general purpose register we have. And this the use of this accumulator is any calculation is done means defaultly this accumulator will be holding the data. Then you can see the three buses, data bus in purple color, and this color is in orange color is in address bus, and dotted lines is control bus. And you can see here RAM or main memory. These are the address 2000, 2001 up to 2006 address, and here I loaded its instruction. Mostly in processor binary values will be stored or hexadecimal value will be stored. So for our understanding, I just wrote the assembly language, that is mnemonic code, right? Microprocessor programming language. So here load 2005. What it means it has to load the value present in this 2005. It has to load into the accumulator, because it didn't refer which place. So load means it has to load the value into the accumulator, that only it will done. So one by one we can see. First, at the start of the cycle, PC holds the address of the first instruction. You can see now PC holds the value 2000, that is address of the first instruction to be fetched. Next, what is the line? Next, from PC it has to transfer to the MAR. So the control unit sends the control signal through the control bus. You can see here control bus is there, right? This is address bus, this is data bus. So first it has to, the control means CU unit only, CU only telling to do these things, right? So first you have to fetch the instruction. So it is sending to the MAR. So control bus and transfer the address to the MAR through address bus. So let's see how it is going. See, the 2000 from PC transfer to the copy to the MAR. Okay, now from MAR through the address bus. So here it is data bus. So through address bus, again I will show you. So through address bus, what is happening? The control unit will then send a control signal to the main memory. You can see control signal is also showing here to the main memory in order to fetch the corresponding instruction of memory location held in the MAR, which travels through the address bus. So from MAR through address bus, it is transferred to the RAM main memory, and it is searching for the address, the 2000 address. It is searching. Once it's searched, the instruction held in the RAM is transferred to the MAR through data bus. If it is searched, so here it is. If it is searched, see, it is found out now. So its instruction in the address 2000 is load 2005. Now it found out. Now it is transferred to the MBR through data bus. So through data bus, it is transferred to the MBR. Then from MBR, it has to transfer to the CIR. So the instruction from MBR will transfer to CIR through data bus. And you can see that also. Yes. Now first instruction is fetch, right? One instruction from the main memory we fetched. So what will happen? Now the first instruction is fetched, so that PC is incremented to 1, so that it points to the next instruction to be fetched. Once it is fetched, the first instruction, the PC has to be incremented. Already PC has the value 2000. It will be incremented to 1, and then what will happen? So that it points to the next instruction to be fetched. So you can see PC now incremented to 2001, means that it is ready for the next instruction. Now before that, in CIR we have one instruction, it is fetched. Now next value is we have to decode it. So how it will decode? So to decode, what will happen? So instruction from CIR, that is current instruction register, is sent to the decoder to decode. So it will go to the decoder for decoding. So what it will do? It will go to the decoder and load it into the decoder. So what happened? Here the CU understood that it needs to fetch the data. So first decoding means, you must understand, decoding means it is reading or sensing the data and understand and decides what to do. here I already told, by reading that load 2005, it understood it has to fetch some data from the main memory and stored into the accumulator. So it understood that one. And after decoding, the execute cycle is start. Now it is decoded. Now execute cycle is going to start. The actual process is done in the execute cycle. In another way, each fetch has one phase, decode has one phase, but execute has two phases. Means first it will process any calculation, those things will done. At the same time, it has to fetch some data from the RAM. If it want to store something, it has to store. So it has two phases in execute cycle. Now it is decoded. Now the execute cycle is starting. So for execute cycle means what the processing is started now, means first this 2005 it has to go here directly from control unit, it won't go. So first the 2005 is transferred to the MAR, you can see, right? So the address of 2005 from the decoder sent to MAR, and also the control signals, you can see control signals also it is showing. So it is stored in the MAR. From MAR through address bus, so address bus is here only, so it has to come through this way to the RAM to search of this data which is present in that one. So from MAR it just search for the bus instruction, and it found out which instruction is there. So now it found out this is the instruction, and this data here is not instruction, the value, the data is transferred through the data bus and stored into the MBR. So the found data then transferred to MBR. Next, from MBR it directly sent to the accumulator, because the load is just it has to transfer to the accumulator. Now the first instruction is fetched, decoded and executed. Thus next instruction it will start. Suppose increment A means already program counter is in 2001, means that address is there, so it points to the next instruction to be fetched. So from this again what it will go, orally written, but I will load in the description only this animation, fetch execute cycle only animation separately without this explanation that I will send, I will just add it in the description. You can just check for these these three data I will show you, so that you can able to see that one. So here just I will explain this 2001
understood the process of von Neumann architecture, how the fetch execute cycle is really step by step how it is working. And like I already said, description in my description I added that animated version for these three mnemonic code is there, right? For each code how it is working, animated version I added in the description, so don't forget to see that, so that you can have a good idea how really the fetch execute cycle is working. Thank you students. Let's be made next video. And before, if you want any topic you have the doubts, just you comment it, so that I can able to I can give first preference to that topic to make a video. So I'm going to upload each topic I'm going to explain. So how much fast I don't know I can do, but I will try to do my best. And I really happy if I receive the comment, and those who already commented in my videos, I say thank you, and I think it is very much useful for you. Any doubt also you can ask in these things, but please don't ask any printed versions or document types, because I cannot able to provide that one. I'm just making it just only for students all over. Just watch it and send your doubts in the comment. I will reply. And I think you enjoy my video before exam. Just for a revision, you can just go through this each chapter. It will be very useful for you. See you next time. Bye.